Hi Leo, this is your 2017 forecast with astrologykiki. We're going to start off talking about Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet of luck and expansion, and it is going to be traveling for most of the year in your third house, and then in October it's going to move into your fourth house. And the third house has to do with travel, like a short distance city to city travel, communication, marketing, networking, advertising, community, siblings, cousins. It's pretty wide range. Transit, so cars, emails, writing. Is there anything I left out? Contracts, things like that. So you could see some very positive communication, things that you put out there, write, say, are also could be very positively received. It's a very beneficial area there. An increase in relations with people around you, your siblings, your community, your neighbors. So a lot more in the sense of short trips and getting out and reaching out to people and communicating. Then or even using your creative side and your marketing side and expanding that area. In October, it'll move into your fourth house, and Jupiter in your fourth house could signify very stable sense of stability and security and strength with your family life and your home. Your property could also appreciate in value during this time. So those are very positive Jupiter places. Saturn is the planet of restriction or constriction and teaching you lessons. And Saturn will spend most of the year in your fifth house of fun and children and romance. So this is a little bit of a downer when Saturn is in your fifth house because it constricts all of that and just may have a little bit less of that nightlife and children around you. Maybe your child is off to, has been away at school or more withdrawn. It's just sort of a little bit of not as much of that fun stuff in your life, a little bit more restriction with regards to that. But there's always a lesson to be learned when Saturn is in your life, and it will be moving out of that area in December. And in December, it's going to move into your sixth house of work environment and health and day-to-day activities and duties and obligations. And the way that can affect you, and it'll mostly be in 2018 that this will happen, but Saturn in your sixth house can signify like if maybe feeling overwhelmed if you're not 100% behind whatever job you're doing, then those day-to-day activities can feel a little overwhelming and disenchanting. And I think Saturn's goal here is to have you do something that maybe you are behind, and that's your lesson there, is to do something that you're passionate about. But those feelings of overwhelm within your workplace can happen during that time, as well as health issues. Health issues can arise, or they can come out even if you've had this issue for a while. Saturn it's not a constant thing. It's when you have certain aspects, it'll throw some obstacles in your way, and it's all something that you can work through so that when Saturn transitions into the next part, you're well prepared and able to move forward. The North Node for you, the North Node is a place, or activities, or ways of thinking that you enjoy and that will help you feel personally successful and personal growth during this period. So into May, from the beginning of the year into May, your focus here will be on your 10th house of career and awards and recognition. And so you will really enjoy and feel productive and have a good time when you're involved in things where you're being publicly recognized, or you enjoy doing things for your career and advancing your career, and getting involved in leadership activities. And then in May, that focus is going to shift a bit to your 9th house. So you may find that learning about cultures, or teaching others about cultures, or traveling at a distance, or dealing with foreigners. These are going to be things that make you feel productive and are going to bring personal growth. Now, there's an eclipse series in 2017 working through your 7th and 1st houses. And eclipses don't affect everyone significantly. It depends on your birth chart and where your degrees are in your natal chart, which we do offer a service that can help you with that. But I just want to give you just let you know that you may or may not be impacted by this. But eclipses will be in February and August, and the 7th and 1st houses, they're not all in the 7th and 1st. This is just the series that we're in. The 7th and 1st houses are ones of partnership, like business or marriage partnership, as well as the 1st house is yourself, your appearance, your goals and dreams, your outward image as well. So when you're looking at eclipses, you're generally looking at beginnings and endings. During this period with the 7th and 1st, I don't think it's uncommon for people to get married. There's proposals. There's changes with regards to partnerships. You could start a business. You could end a business. You could change your appearance, things along those lines. So, but the reason why I say like a marriage or a proposal, that's very much this is how you present yourself to the world. This is your 1st house. You are now going to be Mr. or Mrs. this in a partnership. So it has to do both with that very close relationship bond, as well as sort of who you are out in the world. In many cases, it changes your family status. It doesn't necessarily change who you are, but there's that change in your environment. Then, moving on, there's also a series of trines between Saturn and Uranus, so very stabilizing and a very unstable planet kind of coming together and having a harmonious aspect. And this is super rare because these planets move really slowly. There are 3 of these trines within a year, but other than that, it's an extremely rare event. One will happen at the end of the last week of 2016. The other will be the middle of May, and the other the middle of November. So if you want to kind of gauge how you might be affected by this, look at the end of 2016, and that might give you a link or some kind of idea of what's going to happen in May and November. But the houses that are going to be affected will be the 5th and the 9th. The 5th is fun, children, and creativity, going out, socializing, sports. And the 9th is travel, long distance travel, higher education, and court matters, things like that. But I know that Saturn has been in your fifth, so this might be, these trines might be sort of little bright spots there where you can actually go out and have a great time and have fun and be around children and have children, things like that. So, or travel and meet up with a foreigner. These are really nice, harmonious aspects. So these are bright periods. Again, have a look at the end of 2016 and that should give you a better sense of how May and November will go. Okay, thank you.